don't know if you guys are aware, but Rachel Hollis was canceled.
Did you know that?
Do you guys know?
Who is Rachel Ha? I've never heard of this person.
If you have
Sorry, pulling up the clip. Have you heard of this person? What's her name again?
Yeah. And she's not problematic. We know that.
I am not problematic.
So Rachel was canceled a while ago, and then re-canceled 15 times, because she kept on doing things. But I got slightly triggered today, as a critic of the self-help industry, as a critic of Rach. I saw this thing on her Instagram, and I was like, I can't. I have to talk. Like, I was writing on
must.
Instagram. I was just trying to get it off my chest and all that stuff. However, it was not enough. Like, I felt like, just like one slide or two slides is not gonna do it justice.
Yeah.
Because this is just her really properly addressing the critics.
I love it. And I'm going to switch to this. I'm just going to switch you out real quick. Hold on. Stand by. Because this makes so much more sense in this setup. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put myself in... Oops. I'm going to put myself in cringe talk. And I'm going to do that by finding the post. There you go. Okay. I talked myself through it. I'm thrown for a loop. I've been in the hardest of the hard, guys. So, everyone should thank me.
I think it's commendable, just like whatever you were doing before and then doing this. Like, you did two things in one day. I can't. I'm like a one thing a day type of person.
You guys, you don't even know. Hold on. Just remember, everybody.
It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
When you have two things in one day. Okay.
Yeah.
So
have you seen this, Kayla? Have you
Of
seen
course.
this? What you're saying? Oh, okay. Damn it. For a second, I was like, I'm going to give Kayla some breaking news, but of course not.
No, I saw it and I cringed and rolled my eyes because I was like, first of all, it's Brene Brown. What was our joke about Brene Brown? It was like, Brene wears every shade of brown.
Yeah.
We did an episode on Brene Brown, and she always wears brown shirts, apparently. And then someone, an hour into the stream, was like, her last name is also Brown. We're like, oh, yeah. Anyways.
A good laugh. Like, it was a fantastic laugh.
That was a good
Let
episode.
me send you the screenshot, because I don't think I've put that on. But I think it's important to see it,
Of Rachel?
Yeah, of Rachel's, like, painting, I think. Damn it, I don't have it.
Well, basically, this
Okay.
came up yesterday, right? So it was like, she's like, oh, I got this thing from Etsy. It's this new poem or whatever. I think it's a quote technically, but it's like, it's a poem that I found. And then she does mention Brene Brown, but this is a huge Brene Brown, like, she quotes it all the time. And it's like, she wrote a whole book about it. I have a lot of things to say about that specific thing, but it's interesting that she would sort of take Brene's whole like shtick and put it on her story.
Brene, who apparently took that whole shtick from Abraham Lincoln. So
Yeah.
I can't believe, like, the plagiarizing keeps on going, it keeps on plagiarizing. It's just, it's like a never-ending bottomless pit.
Yeah.
So
Self-help grift. Okay, you want to play it? Everyone's like, play it.
So let's first show people. I think I've sent it to you on Instagram just now. Let's show her. Rachel bought a little something, for a little reminder for her walls.
Wait, is this not in that one? Oh, okay, because this is just her explaining it.
Yeah.
Okay, stand by, everybody. We have to set this up correctly. It was yesterday. It wasn't even that long ago, right? It's still up there on her page, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. There it is, everybody.
Yeah.
The Man in the Arena. It's by Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt,
Yeah.
aka Abraham
Oh,
Lincoln.
did I say Abraham
It's
Lincoln?
okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Roosevelt. Just one of your presidents.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't know. We don't know the difference.
One of the dead ones, anyway.
Yeah, he's on some
doesn't
cash
matter
or
anymore.
something. Yes, this is his famous quote from 1910. So, the Titanic had yet to set sail at this period of time when this was said.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
guy, the captain who sank with the Titanic's like, at least I'm in the arena, and then drowned.
I love this arena metaphor. I love it. You know why? Because it's just such a fantastic metaphor for the kind of stuff that Rachel is talking about. Like when I think of an arena, I think of the Colosseum. That's
Yes.
what I think of. And you know what happened in the Colosseum? Like it was
Murders.
like fights to the death. Like they were having people fight animals, they were having people fight people, people were throwing tomatoes, and Rach is like here being like, I'm in the arena. Like, dude, that's
At least I'm there.
yeah, I'm not sure that's like in my brain it doesn't quite resonate as like a good thing. I'm like because they threw in prisoners, like people they were keeping in jail in there just to entertain the masses, like have them killed, it's all good, they were prisoners anyway, like you know. So
At least you're playing the game. It's better than those people watching, huh? Those losers not fighting to the death.
yeah,
Lame.
or I think of like the Hunger Games, you know, stuff like that. I don't know what she thinks of when she thinks arena.
Well, she's going to tell us, sort of. Not really. She's just going to repeat the quote, but maybe
Yeah.
we'll get some insight. So here we go. Here's Rach talking about why not selling her tickets is no big deal. Is how I took it.
If you have never heard this poem, Alexa, off. If you have never heard this poem, I'm going to read it to you because it's really freaking good. Brene wrote like an entire book about it, and it's been referenced a million times. Still, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to...
Okay, sorry, not to cut it off. This is giving me, guys, I'm outside in my patio and I'm hearing birds flutter around. Watch my face as I listen. Same
Yeah,
vibe. Like, look,
it's
watch my
giving-
face.
Yeah, it's giving a better than thou type vibes.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't if you tried.
Yeah. And I just don't know why the close-up face shot is like the popular modality of delivering this poem or whatever. And she calls Brene, like, they're on first name basis. Like, oh, Brene's always talks about this.
Has Brene had her on her podcast?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're besties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said that. You're the worst. Also agrees. Yeah, me and Brene. It's like Brene has 3 names. Brene, different shades of brown.
50 Shades of Brown. Yeah.
50 Shades of Brene.
50, yeah.
Yeah, at least she's attributing the quote correctly. At least she's not saying, "Hey guys, I just thought of this
Yeah.
today," and then starts reading
From
it.
my researcher storyteller background. Yeah, at least you know we know that it's from Roosevelt this time. So can
Yeah.
you believe that Rachel didn't plagiarize for once? Like that's a shocker.
I mean,
Yeah. Mm.
now her shtick is whenever, and I listen to her podcast always, so it's like she'll say, and she did this since she got called out, so probably for like years now, before she even got canceled. She'd be like, "Oh, I know someone said this," and she'll just say the quote as if it's her own anyway. She'll like, "Someone else said this, but I can't remember," and she never gives like an actual name. She's like, "I don't know, somebody said somebody once, I read a book about it," and then she'll give the quote. So that's like her fix for not
Yeah,
just
somebody
like,
said
taking
Somebody
it.
said rise.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know, somebody said it, but like I really agree, and I think it's true.
Yeah, and
Rise.
by Rachel Hollis. Yeah, Maya Angelou be there like, bitch.
Yeah,
What
like
the fuck?
I'm not familiar with that artist. Okay, so now she's reading. It's cringe. It is cringe. I'm sorry, that is the word for it. Like poetry and reciting quotes or anything is sort of like weird to me. I don't know, but like if you're reading it and you're showing me something, that's one thing. But I'm like literally staring at your face, watching you read this. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It's a weird way to do it.
Yeah, I
Personally.
agree. But I also want to mention, because before we move any further with the video, because this bothers me because I'm a critic, you're a critic, and it's fucking work. How exactly on this planet is this not work? Like, I feel like it's so much work and it's unrewarded. Like nobody cares
So
about
much
it.
work, no one cares, and well, people do care. There's people in this chat right now that are watching that care, which is
Yeah, of
awesome.
course.
But it's like you're always, it's almost like being in a position where, I don't know, like an always hated position, or like it's easy to go, oh my god, negativity, negative, and then just to completely like invalidate every point because it's hurtful, you know. And I agree, it is hurtful. I'm not trying to say we're not hurtful with what we say and do, but it doesn't make it not true, and doesn't make it any less important to point it out just because it's mean.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like if it's a newspaper that points it out, it's completely fine because you don't see like a face talking or whatever. You just see a written article and it's completely fine, and it's
Yeah.
from the trusted sources, so etc. etc. That's just and we're doing it exactly that same way, except we're doing it on video, and people just, not people, like I shouldn't say people, like just people like rage people, the people we criticize suddenly don't take the criticism seriously because what, because they see a face.
Which is funny because then they'll accuse like other, and maybe they're not accusing us, they're accusing other people, but they're like, they hide behind the keyboard. They are too ashamed of their own sadness to like come forward. I'm like, I'm pretty open and out there at this point, you know, like my face is on this, so I'm sticking by it. And obviously I know people aren't going to like it, but it's like I'm willing to, I think you are too, we all are like willing to take the risk of someone going mean,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
and if I was to reach out to Rachel, which I was so close to, because I had this rant written in my notes. I was so close to sending it to her. But if I was to reach out to Rachel, it would be like inappropriate, you know. But if like
Yeah.
if the BBC or like the New York Times, who have written about her when she was canceled, were to reach out, they would be like, we have contacted her for comment, nothing like, and it's completely
Oops.
fine. And I just
Yeah.
feel a bit like, at this point, what's the double standard for, and what is it about? Because it's kind of time for it to go away. In my opinion, I
Yeah.
would like for it to go away.
Yeah, and I think there is something to be said for, you know, oh, people who want to be business owners or whatever, but never actually pursue it, them having an opinion about you running a business. I get that, but like it gets so blown out of proportion, and especially when the teaching for a lot of these self-help people, including Rachel, especially Rachel, has been you control your thoughts, you control your life, no one can make you happy but you know, wake up every morning and write down your 10 goals, and you know, keep all the people in your life positive, whatever. As soon as they get a little dribble of like negativity, they freak out. It's almost like if you're on such a strict diet and you have like a piece of candy, your body just like rejects it immediately, as opposed to if you just had a little bit of a balanced diet, you probably would be a little better off. You wouldn't be as affected. But because they're so insular into their positivity, toxic positivity bubble, the second one little gets in, it's like, I must address this immediately.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's very kind of annoying as well because of another kind of double standard, because when people were on her side and when people were like speaking of her in a positive way, and that meant,
No
like, for
problemo.
example, her MLM audience. She has said on a couple of occasions that basically initially her book Girl Wash Your Face didn't make it on the New York Times bestseller list. However, it did it like in about 8 weeks or something, and that's because of, gosh, what do you call it when people are just like spreading the word? And like
Word of
essentially it was
mouth.
like word of mouth, because of word of mouth. And she said it's because of basic, I don't know if she said it, but like that was why. It was the
Mm-hmm.
MLM audiences, because they were just kind of sharing the book, they were like telling people to buy it, etc., etc.
Mm.
So when that happened, and you were still in the arena, Rach, and you were happy to receive the money, and you were happy to receive the doTERRA conferences and whatever else, like Rodan in Fields and whatever else she did.
Beachbody.
And you didn't mind, that you were in the arena, and the critic, because those people were also critics, but positive, like they were talking about something positive about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Positive
criticizing is just
reviews.
talking about something, like
Yeah.
they were talking in a good way, and she was happy to accept the good part.
Mm-hmm.
Now that she's like experiencing the other side of the coin, suddenly I need to buy like a little poster to remind myself that the critics are shit. Like, just
I
go
think again,
away.
it's just another way to say I'm better than you in her way.
Yeah.
Like if you have anything negative to say, well, at least I'm doing something and you're not. And that's, so whatever you have to say is not that important because at least I am still trying, which is true. It is true. But I still think all of the criticism that's been lodged at her for the most part has been warranted. And I don't know. I'm so sorry, everybody. Something screwed up with my system here. We're on the wrong channel. My comment button's not popping up. But we want to say thank you to King Intern for the super chat.
Thank you, King Intern.
And King Intern says, the thing about the keyboard warrior thing is that not everyone has the means to record a video. How else is someone supposed to communicate on the internet? I mean, yeah, I agree with that as well. Like, that's their big criticism is like, they're anonymous and they're causing mayhem and trauma to me, as a creator. Not me, but like a Rachel. But it's like, yeah, like then close your comments down. That's usually an option. It just doesn't get as much engagement. So they keep it open to hear the positivity, but then they're very much affected by the negative. So yeah,
But
I don't
it's
know.
also
I don't know what
the
else.
silent commenters who buy the books, and silent commenters who buy her merch and who bought her notebooks and whatever. So they aren't like all on video being like, I'm buying this thing. It's just, I feel like they're only commenting about the keyboard warriors when it's negative. They never have a problem, like, and I have no problem with people like being keyboard warriors in my comment section. You guys just, please, I actually would beg for this.
Comment, please, even if it's horrible.
I mean, I'm literally
I need the engagement.
I need those, like, corn commenters to come in, because
Corn?
at this point, you know what I mean by corn, right?
No. Oh. The corn.
Yeah.
The P word corn. Yeah. P instead of C.
Yeah, this is very PG-14.
I will actually do something obscene for you.
That's what it says in those comments. It's usually like in Swedish or something.
I'm like desperate times call for desperate measures. So at this point, bring all the bots, please. It's all good.
Bring the Rach stands.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish watching it? I had to stop it because it was making me uncomfortable, but we can continue now. I feel better.
Yes.
Okay.
The man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marked by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming.
Again and
but
again.
who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who, at the best, knows that in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor. Theodore Roosevelt. Also, on Etsy, they had this where it's woman.
But also, oh yeah, this part. Okay, wait. I have so much to say about this part.
It's woman, like the woman in the arena and the woman who is daring greatly and all that jazz. But I wanted the original version. But if you want one that speaks more closely to your soul, they make that on Etsy too.
She looks like I really did something here. I really helped a lot of people with this post, guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pack it up. I've saved everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's very. I don't know. I don't know the word aside from cringe. At this point, I feel like we're overusing the word, but it is the sorry, it's not the key.
I don't know what the frick is going on.
It's a Cringe-Fluencers channel word, but it is cringe. You know, we choose them on purpose when they're cringe.
It is cringe, and it's fluencing me. Just kidding. Okay, two things about the end, though, about the woman thing. What do you... Okay, here's my thought, and then I have a question for you, too. Rachel... Now, since she's not become non-religious, which I have no issue with because I'm not religious, so I actually her and I have more in common now that she's not religious. She has been referencing God as she, like she, her pronouns. Like, oh God, I asked her a question. I was praying to her last night. Like that's been her new shtick. And so it's interesting that she would not want the woman version of daring greatly when obviously she feels comfortable just, switching around gender pronouns in other cases, especially when it comes to God. So I'm sort of surprised that she would want the male version of this, but then mention though there's a woman version.
I mean, I guess she wants the Roosevelt quote rather than an unoriginal one. But this whole thing with God being she, her, I mean, I'm not religious, so I wouldn't know. But basically, I don't understand why Rachel ever played religious. Because I just feel like there is no way that she was religious until 2 years ago, and suddenly 2 years ago she became not religious, but didn't come out with a story time about it. You know what I mean? Most people when they kind of leave a cult or leave a religious cult or whatever, there's so many videos on YouTube being like, I used to be Mormon and I got out of it and here's my story, and they go viral. They're insane, and I feel like she would have done that if that was the case, but that's not what happened. So I don't think she was ever religious. I think it was just all I don't know.
I think she was religious. I mean, Pentecostal is very much religious. That is when you're speaking in tongues and stuff. So they're pretty hardcore, especially that her dad was a pastor. I can't imagine that she would have been that independent maybe to not be religious and to be afraid not to be religious. And then, she talked even in Girl Wash Her Face, she quotes scripture a lot, not overly done, but she does definitely quoted different scriptures, and she's got different religious undertones. But I think the issue is, and this is just my opinion, all this is just my opinion, that she doesn't want to lose the audience. She's afraid that there is no new audience. So she's trying to hold on to all these different sides. She hasn't come out fully yet because when she was trying to sell tickets, she still is trying to sell tickets to her Rach Talk Live. She came out with a motivation episode on her podcast where she quoted scripture. I can't even say the word scripture. She quoted scripture again. And she also went back to her roots about you can do it, girlfriend. You got it in you. So I don't think she wants to lose her old people, but she doesn't know what her new audience could be. So she's hesitant to say anything too damning where she can't return backwards. Does that make sense? She doesn't want to let go of the 25 people who are still stans of her from her religious days.
Well, I mean, I thought she has 100 million podcast downloads. No,
she does, but I don't know how reliable those are. The more I hear about podcasts, I'm like, do people actually listen to these, or are we all lying about it?
I don't know, because like the screenshot did not show until like I don't know when she posted it, but I thought she posted it recently, and the screenshot did not show the current
find it.
month.
Well, there was like a big spike for sure. Let me hold on. Let me go on my burner account.
So this was posted. Oh yeah, because you got blocked.
Yeah. Story of my life. Ugh.
Story time.
Story
Rachel
time. I got
Hollis
blocked.
blocked me.
I did a whole episode when Dave blocked me. A whole video about it.
Yeah, good. So she posted this on the 4th of August, but only showed July. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, that's fine. Maybe that's fine. Sorry, I thought this was posted just like a few days ago. Maybe it was my fault. I didn't pay attention properly.
But like again, this is like I mean, I'm sure it's true, but like it's a very generic analytics system, and like because podcasts are like private analytics, you don't really know what they are. You have to share those numbers with like, you know, advertisers and whatnot, and that they auto download on Apple. I just have a feeling that a lot of podcasts are overblown. Like you know, they were downloaded for one episode because, you know, some person like a Kobe Bryant or something was on an episode and that became a popular episode. You download the podcast, it auto downloads for the next 2 years, and now you're giving them 100 million views because a couple episodes were interesting to you.
And I think that's over time. I don't think this is new. I don't think this is, you know, this 2022 or something.
Oh, this is from the beginning, which started like in 2017 when she was interviewing like Beachbody consultants and stuff on the podcast. Yeah. I went way back and listened.
And it's not always reflective, because like I could say I had, you know, 1.5 million views, but that does not reflect my current views. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, it's like when people say, this is something I found with Beachbody or like any MLM or any coaching, anything, people will say, I'm a six-figure business owner. And it's like, I've been in business 4 years and each year I made $25,000. I'm a six-figure big business owner. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. That has its place, but it's not like the same meaning of, oh, I made $100,000, you know, last year or last month running my coaching business or whatever.
Yeah, or I could say that same thing. Like I could be like, when I sell my flat, I could be like, this month I made 60 grand.
Yeah.
Just from 10 views.
Just from believing.
How did I do this?
Buy my course.
Yeah.